Welcome to Graeme Games. My name is Graeme. This is a game. Today I am playing BIT.TRIP RERUNNER. This is brand new. If you have ever played a BIT.TRIP game before, especially the Runner series, then this is like the ultimate version of that. I have played quite a bit of these games, but I've never been the kind to like 100% them or anything. I'm going to go with the medium difficulty and just call that good. I really loved the original game. It's very simple and just enjoyable for what it is. The sequel was outstanding. BIT.TRIP Runner 2 is amazing. And the third one, I only played a little bit of it. It was good. It was still excellent, very polished, but it weirdly kind of started to feel like it was just, I don't know. I don't even remember what my opinions are on it. I don't think I put that much into it. But this game takes the original, reworks it, takes the soundtracks from every BIT.TRIP game, not just the BIT.TRIP Runner series, and includes them remastered, remixed. It includes a runner maker, so users can make their own runner levels. It has like a bunch of other stuff in it. You would have to go read the Steam page to see truly all of it. But this is it. This is the ultimate version of this series. I'm actually genuinely so excited for this. And thank you to the devs publisher for sending me a copy of it. I'm gonna play a bit now. I find rhythm games very hard to commentate over. And so I have some level of confidence that I'll be able to do it. Especially in these early stretches here where there's not that much stuff to actually avoid and dodge around. I'll be okay. I'll manage. But like, eventually you get to a point where the soundtrack continues to build. It just gets more and more exciting, and like your actions in the game are contributing to the sound effect, to the soundscape, I guess. The sound effects like layer in with the music in really like clever ways if you've never seen the series before. So there's little like bing bings. It's not always the same sound, right? They do it in a way where it becomes a part of the soundtrack. And so when it gets really explosively like next level, then the complicated quality of it makes it really hard to split your attention by having to record and commentate at the same time. Kudos to any YouTuber player out there who can do that. I have a limit. I have a pretty hard limit. So I 100%ed that one. It was the first level, so I would feel kind of ashamed if I didn't. I don't necessarily know if that'll ever happen again. That may have been limited. The glide, do I have to tap it mid-air? Or is that just... I'm trying to... Oh, dang it. I'm trying to get a sense for the regular jump. Regular jump. It's not a good place to test that. Okay. Regular jump. Gliding jump. Oh, it's minutely different. It's very, very subtle, but crucial for shading together really specific things. The idea of coming back to this series years later after Runner 3 had come out, the reception I think was strong, but it just didn't sell that well. You know, I think people were like, yeah, that's 3 runner games in a pretty short period of time. We all get it. We've all seen it. And so yeah, it didn't appear to sell that well based purely on like Steam stats. But I'm hoping for the developer's sake, because I love the series, that this is like the ultimate, and all the old fans and everything show up for this one, especially with the ability for user-made levels, because that means this is now an infinitely playable, the same way like Mario Maker would be. And that's just huge. That's like seemingly so obviously the next step for the series, so I'm into it. Can I just use... Oh yeah, I can use the joystick. It doesn't have to be the D-pad. The D-pad's just like a little out of the way. A little bit. But does it feel better? Oh god. I also really like that they kept stuff from the newer installments of the series. My nose was itchy and I just didn't have time. To make the environments like... There's just way more going on. And it just makes the environment feel really exciting every time. So you can absolutely take the top path there. It's a little bit easier seeming, less obstacles and things to collide with, but then you won't get every single gold bar. And I do have something in my brain with this series specifically that really makes me want to replay levels and push to try and like 100% them. It reaches a point for me where that goes beyond my personal ability. And so as soon as I start pushing up against that limit, that's probably when I'll set down recording the game and switch to just playing it on my own. I'm so close to getting a key. And it was perfect. I did get a perfect on that, but it not I guess that's enough gold bars. 32 times 3, what is that, 96? And so maybe you need 100 to unlock the key, whatever the key gives you access to, I don't even know. Apparently there's a bunch of like throwbacks to the original games and everything, so if you are a super fan, then there's even more for this in you. That was a backwards way of speaking. I got kind of Yoda-esque for a second, I think. I barely even know what I said. But now I'm talking a lot. And this game is totally just about enjoying the vibes. So I'm kind of just gonna vibe. Ah, dang it. I guess I probably had to glide on that one. I feel like you don't get the perfect if you let yourself ever have to reuse a checkpoint. Oh, the glide didn't even do it. So maybe I have to jump sooner. Oh, I'm gonna let myself reset on that. I think I have to jump sooner so that I have time to take a second jump. Part of the game is absolutely just like finding the rhythm and seeing what the allowable. See, so there's borderline time for a second jump in there. This is the thing. I could just make it past that section without grabbing it, but I want it. Yeah, you do just have to do it quickly, and that sort of quick jumping is... That's where you're gonna fail 100 times over and need to keep redoing it. Not everyone's gonna be into that. While you're sliding, if you hit jump, you instantly go to a jump. You don't have to like exit the slide. And I don't think the game necessarily teaches you that, but I'm just aware that that's how it works based on the original series. So I was able to kind of just go with it. Back? I guess, what if I hit L for community zone? What is that going to mean? Junior Commander. It's my username. Flavor Mood Familiar. Extra, Ultra, Super. What am I seeing? Maybe I just switched to user-made levels all of a sudden? What the hell am I looking at? Beat any 10 levels in the campaign. Next frame mode. I don't know what like any of that means. I think all of that is for the sake of people who have played a shitload of this and unlocked everything, and I have no idea. So then there is the level of the day, friend ranks, news, sharing things online, events, and then we have levels of the day. And Commander at the top, that's like the cave story guy, I think. Junior Melchkin. Top player, top friend. I will try user-made levels, but I'm not going to jump to that just yet. I kind of wanted to find out what the key is all about. My levels extras. So, imagery, words. You used to be able to unlock additional characters. Maybe that comes about in different ways. Costumes? Are you sure you want to unlock costumes? Yes. Wait, so that's what it means by images. Oh, so literally just like fan images of people who have made Halloween costumes of Commander video. Incredible. Great costume. Love it. So all that, okay. And words, and cutscene viewer. Okay, so not the type of things I was picturing. Maybe you unlock characters and things just by playing the game. It could be that you have to go out of your way, take a different path, within the level to like kind of explore around, and then hopefully you find the thing that you didn't have otherwise. What am I trying to... my brain got so distracted and I just filled in a second half of that sentence that didn't mean anything. Basically, I just imagine that integrated unlocks where you have to like find the character. That would be cool. I could see that being an interesting way to do it. I think it's a weird thing to make the obstacle that you jump over and the obstacle you kick just be bigger versions of the same thing. I wish that were different. It's pretty distinctly, the crystals on it are pretty distinctly larger, so maybe that's fine. But I thought my brain would have a harder time figuring it out. Yes. Yeah, oh, I forgot. Okay, so those just make sound, the gold bars, but when you get the plus, it like adds another layer to the music. So if you get all those, the music just gets better and more exciting, and so there's like a really fun quality to that. So I have enough gold for the boombox? Does that mean I like just unlocked additional levels? So I'm pretty sure dancing is just points. So you would just do that when you have time, and there's all sorts of wacky, silly dances. I'm probably, like, maybe I'll do a little bit of it here just to show it off, because it's funny and I like it. But that's just for high scores, and just literally showing off. If you're trying to beat the game 100% or whatever, you don't have to do that. I honestly don't know how I dodged the one that I kind of landed on top of there. And I was so thrown off by that, that all my reactions kind of got messed up from it. Okay. Yeah, because I used the glide the first time falling down and not on the second. Oh, it's just reminding me to dance. For a second I thought I had to. Yeah, the dancing is optional. As with all dancing. Never mandatory. But often fun. I'm a terrible dancer and absolutely just like abysmal, if I'm being honest. Bad dancer, but I try to have fun with it. Ah, nuts. That's a really tough one. Look at his goofy buck teeth. He's really real chompy. Called the big one bitey. Oh, come on. Oh, you have to jump early so that you land just on the other side of it, so you still have time for another jump. It's actually, I feel like, a little harder to get that right in the 3D iterations of this series, when it was the more simplistic first game, and I think a little bit the second game still too. The like pixel art style meant that you could operate with pixel precision while executing your jumps and everything. So I think in some ways that was easier, but the experience is smoother and more enjoyable in the installments of the game that have come since. It still gave me a perfect. I guess perfect literally just means you got everything, because I definitely had to check the checkpoints a few times. Okay, suddenly adding that in is gonna be, it's a tricky additional layer. Do you know what I picture myself doing? Oh, I don't know if you can hold that. Okay, this is where things are gonna get real. Probably what I'll do is play the hell out of this on the Steam Deck. I could see that just being like an absolutely super fun way to play this series. Play 20 minutes at a time, listen to some jamming tunes, take it on the go. I assume it would work well on the deck. I haven't tested that, but I think it's a pretty safe assumption. Extra. I do like the big like golems or whatever in the background too. Those guys are cool. Honestly, adding the spring in was not as crazy as I thought it would be. I haven't played this series in years. I don't know where this is coming from. I didn't expect to fall back in the rhythm of it that quickly. These are obviously the easiest levels, so you know I can't pat myself on the back too hard. But I kind of feel like a superhero cruising through these currently. So I didn't actually have to duck those. Just had to not jump. Oh yeah. Okay, it's starting to get some like much tinier less forgiving windows to execute, like, chaining together different movements and things. These narrow sections. Makes me think of Helicopter. Does that check out for anyone else? Okay, I was really trying to, like, focus looking ahead on whether or not I was going to need to go up or down. You can tell that the levels are getting harder because I just have less to say. My focus is just on making it through. Oh, nice. We're kind of like repeating a familiar pattern there. So you can kind of have learned a specific sequence and bring it back, and you're doing all right. Extra at the top. Well, that's just for getting the plus signs, I think. That one had some tricky bits, and I think I got it on my first try, which I was not expecting, and I'm like pretty stoked about. So, I'm just going back just because I wanted to see. I don't know how the jukebox thing works anymore. Maybe it was back on this screen. The bonus levels. So, will I have unlocked bonus levels? I would have to spend to get them. Play the original BIT.TRIP Runner with the new BIT.TRIP Runner Rerunner art style. Oh my god. Like, you mean the entire thing? We're going to have to take a look at that. Yes, I want to unlock the original BIT.TRIP Runner. It's the entire original game? No. This is so much more than I realized. It means it's well and truly, this is the ultimate version of this game. Oh, so it'll be all the old soundtrack too. The new soundtrack sounded good. I was interested. I was excited by it. But some of the original songs have lived rent-free in my head since the series started. So obviously it's like just, I almost wish you had the ability to play it with the old art style. But then at that point, that's what the original game is for. Maybe you don't need that. It's kind of silly going back to one that's just jumping based. But just conceptually, the idea that you can just play every previous runner game in one in addition to infinite. Because I guess the thing is that if you give the player base the tools to make levels, what's the first thing they're going to do? They're just going to make all the original levels from the original games, you know? And so that'll just become repetitive or whatever. How do I even like phrase that? Redundant? I don't know. It's just like, if they're gonna do it, you might as well do it. Save them the time, let them focus on doing new things. Oh, I really don't know if the color of that stands out for me. Green on top of blue? I don't necessarily like that. Oh, so I was trying to just get away with having the shield out like always. Maybe I should just try and treat that as like my default. Yeah, and you can still kick through it. You put it away when you kick. So I'm kind of going to treat the shield as my default finger position. And then jumping and ducking will just come as I need them. I think. I hope that's how it works. Calling it my default is tricky. It's hard. It's hard to make my brain think of it that way and to go back to constantly be holding a button down. But I think if I can get used to it, then it's notably effective. And then, oh damn it. And then there are still things like that where you need to like move around enough that it's kind of hard. Did I miss that one gold initially? I might have. So resetting there may have been worth it for that reason alone. Yeah, see, that's where the music really starts to layer and become like extra special in my mind. Yeah, do. I love that. I love the way it starts layering and adding in. Haha, that UFO trying to catch me off guard, avoid my gold. I'm too greedy for that. You can't stop me. At this point, I think I want to try and just clear the zone. That feels like a good goal. This is 1-10. I think either 11 or 12 was like a boss. So let's let's at least do the first zone and see where we're at. And then I should probably look at, like, the top rated level of the day, or whatever that was called. I kicked too early. So these are the goals. That's what I'm going to attempt with my little time here. Maybe this would be like a good game to stream, because you can just kind of chat and hang out while you do something fairly repetitive, although you would only be able to look at the chat between. Not something I'm planning to do. I just like thinking it through and then thinking out loud. I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is about a game that's this like reaction based and quite like intense. You have to really be focused and locked in, and it can get frustrating when it gets to the harder levels in the game. But at the same time, for some reason, I kind of consider this like a comfort series for myself, because it's just fun, I guess. Is that enough? Does it matter that it's like stressful when you reach like the higher levels and it gets really, really difficult? Not so much, because you're just looking at fun visuals, like a visualizer of a really fun soundtrack. So urgency. So 12. 12 must be the boss. Well, you can kick in the air. I don't know if that is needed. Oh, I have to jump that. I was like, that's impossible. Well, I had to start making stupid mistakes sooner or later. That was a little excessive. Oh no, it's happening. It's happening. There's very much a thing in this series where once you lose the rhythm of it, it's hard to get back. So I gotta be mindful, because the game could start really punking me here. I've been riding a high, a real big confidence high up until this point. Oh, I need to glide, right? Like, is that... Because I can't kick through that or anything, so I think I just have to put off my jump longer. The glide isn't working. Maybe it's because I have the shield up. Maybe that messes with it in some way that's, like, not considered allowed? No. So if not that, do I just have to get the timing of that really precise? Oh, that's so hard. That's really tricky. Glad to hit the checkpoint on that one. I hope I don't have to do that too often. Sometimes you'll encounter something where the timing needs to be that precise, same as that gold piece on the other side there. And you'll do it 15 times trying to get it precisely right, and then you'll be patting yourself on the back for finally nailing it. And then it makes you do it 3 more times, and you're like, I can't. It's so hard to perfect levels when they have a lot of precision timing stuff. Okay, I seem to relatively consistently get that. I accidentally did the glide there. So I accidentally held my air time that extra millisecond longer, and that was enough. So yeah, oh, the timing on that is really tough. All right, I'll worry about, I tried to pull up my shield. Oh, it has to be the D-pad. That's weird. You can do the slide with the joystick, but you can't do the shield. It has to be D-pad. That almost seems just like an oversight. Everyone must just do the D-pad, and I'm being the weird one. Yeah, I'm gonna stop stressing about 100%. Because we'll be here all day. We've officially crossed over into, like, see, I would have to reset there, and I would have to reset again. Right now, I'm just gonna focus on trying to make it through, because this is where it's gonna get tough. So, you just gotta feel like a champ early on, with a bunch of gimmies. And then now the game can worry about beating the hell out of you. That one green one messes me up, because I have to switch to like the defensive mode, and then you gotta switch to a time to jump. So throwing that one green block in there, because there's too much else going on. My default always shield plan fell apart very quickly. Okay, so then jump right away after that. Okay. Glide. Oh, please checkpoint soon. Please. I've earned it. It's so long. It's so long to hold between. All right, please tell me. Please tell me I'm in the clear here. Checkpoint. Yes. And I think I checkpointed with 100% on the other side there, which is like kind of lucky, honestly. That just worked out well. Wasn't prepared for that. They just came back suddenly. It's tough. It's tough when it's like, hey, no springboard for the majority of the level. Yes, I'm stoked that I got 100% on that, considering how much difficulty I was having with it. Okay, so I want to go back just to see. Yep, so adversity is our first boss battle. Let's put it to the limit here. So in the top right there, it's all about like doing damage. And these are just to make the soundtrack fun. There you go. You got all the extras, now it's a checkpoint. It'd be funny if you didn't get those and then hit your checkpoint. So, I barely remember how bosses work. Alright, he's just going to generate obstacles. I was really just trying to pay attention to how the sound was going. Oh, funny. Okay, so those get knocked back at him. That feels familiar. I think the design, general design here is very similar to what we've seen before in a BIT.TRIP game. There we go. There's the shield gone. Ah! I thought I was just going to keep knocking things into him. I got to kick him, which makes sense. He's made out of the giant crystal things that you kick. It's just fun. Just fun art. I think this is a repeating thing. Yeah, I think he's doing the same thing. I was just curious if there was like a level of randomness to how he's dropping those. Always done in a way where it's either paired together like that or the alternate spaced out version of it. He might be doing random alternations of that. Kick. All right, how's this going to get harder then? Probably there's a checkpoint. That's really handy. Maybe he's just going to drop more stuff more often. It just occurred to me that I had some really stupid... I went and looked over at my other screen. Recording settings that I hope I remembered to change, because if not, the quality of this video is going to be trash, and I'll feel very, very bad about that. My excitement would never be the same the second time around. I would sooner upload a crappier looking overall video that captured my initial excitement of the game than to compromise that by like re-recording it or whatever. That was tight, and this is only the second phase of the boss, and this phase seems to be longer too. So I think I gotta make my jumps sooner in case he ends up spacing things together that extra little bit. Gotta be like prepared for that. So I'm just trying to keep it in mind. Yeah, like there, right there. Oh, that was the third. Good, good, good. That was the second crystal checkpoint. Alright. I got your number, man. I'm guessing I'll have to do a couple checkpoints here. Oh, that's funny. He's a UFO and he spawns UFOs. That it just kind of makes sense. Oh! Ho ho, you tricky bugger! I was so nearly not prepared for that. That's number 2. Oh, right, the reflection again. I was not ready for it. I was not ready for it again, and then I was all thrown off and they threw UFOs at me. That's the thing with the more complicated art style, I will say. I feel like suddenly there's so many background elements and colors and layering together effects and things that it looks cool, it looks pretty. But it also, at the same time, it's like your eyes can kind of get overwhelmed a little bit, at least. It's not that bad. It's not like that dramatic of a likely threat. Final kick. So long. Oh, he blew the hell up. I was kind of wondering, like, oh, is he the same boss? Do you always fight the same guy? He'll come back in Zone 2, Zone 3 with upgrades or whatever. I think he's toast. Nice. So, I earned an achievement for completing the zone and for earning a perfect on every zone. Bam! Feel good about that. So, community zone. Boogargadon. Boogargadon? It's kind of like Armageddon, I guess. Like and favorite, the number of likes, downloads, difficulty, length, gold, total gold in the level, how many people have cleared it, bonks. I mean, I think that probably means who has lost. Where'd the controller go? That was weird. I just like lost the ability to select play. So this is a totally different setting. So I'm gonna have to wrap my head around those differences. Honestly, this seems to be running notably less smooth than the previous thing. Is there like too much going on screen? I can even hear my computer starting to like chug a little bit opening this up. I don't know what that is. Blocking probably. Oh, see, I'm trying to use the joystick, not the D-pad. That's just clearly an oversight, and hopefully someone points that out to them nice and early on. Do you jump over that? I don't get it. I feel discouraged. I feel like probably you're supposed to play through the full game and get familiar with things. Yeah, see, I don't even know. Maybe there's a... What about back? Does back do it? Maybe that's what that is? So probably you're supposed to have played through the game before you bother with the community stuff so that you kind of know what those are and don't get caught off guard. Yeah, I don't know what that is. So that kills my interest in the user stuff for now. But it is cool that it's there, and long term, it'll just mean you have that much to play. You'll never run out of stuff to play, realistically, on top of having hours and hours and hours of stuff to play that the developers included. So I think absolutely worth it. The ultimate BIT.TRIP Runner game. I'm very excited about it. Hope you guys are too. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know what you think down below, and I hope to see you again soon.